Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to another Live Purposefully Now broadcast for another Mindfulness Monday. Today, I'm going to start doing something new. I'm going to do a Mindfulness Monday series called Spiritual Truths. And each Monday for the next few weeks, I will be sharing a spiritual truth with you. They are life truths that shape and form our life as it is today. Life truths that become tools in your hands to uplift you and to change your entire future. And if you enjoy this broadcast, if it speaks to your heart in any way, please think about sharing it. And that way we can give these tools to others to enable them to change their futures too. But before I begin, let me first introduce myself to those who don't yet know me. I'm Elle Summer. I am the founder of Live Purposefully Now, a website that I created with the intention of inspiring and motivating and encouraging like-minded people to learn about and use some of the spiritual life truths that I have been studying and practicing for close to 30 years and which have made a complete and huge difference in my life. So that no matter the circumstances anybody is currently experiencing, they would always have tools to support them through any adversity and to help them live the best life possible. And so it seemed like a good time to put some of these spiritual truths about the workings of life into a different form. And so I thought of doing a series, a live broadcast series. But before I begin this very first spiritual truth, let me acknowledge the wonderful like-minded souls who are here right now, starting with Jenny White. Jenny is the one who keeps my Facebook page running smoothly, and who honestly, without her, my page would probably vanish in a puff of smoke. Jenny's own Facebook page is Strong Heart Awakening, and it's one that's truly worth checking out. I'm not sure who else is here. I can't see too many people right now. The comments aren't really flowing, but Natasha is here. Hello, Natasha. Welcome. And so because the comments aren't really working on Facebook, I'm just going to get on with this first spiritual truth. And it is that you, through your consciousness, are the creator of your reality. You are building and maintaining your life just as it is right now. And you're creating it with your consciousness through your thoughts and feelings and beliefs. In other words, everything that you are conscious of. And I know that if you've never heard this before, it seems ridiculous or laughable or even unsympathetic, because we can instantly point to events that look beyond our control in our world, where we were born, our health challenges, accidents that we might have had, those in life who've hurt and wounded us that had absolutely nothing to do with us. And what about world events that hurt so many? And of course, if we were to count only our present or recent conscious thoughts, then the first truth really would be just rubbish, because no one says to themselves, hey, I think it's time I got hurt, or involved with some horrible people, or lost my home. But bear with me, dear hearts, there's a lot more to come. Because no matter how hard you look, you won't find causes for experience outside of your own consciousness. This world of ours is a grand mirror, constantly telling us who we are in consciousness. And it's all done through energy and vibration. We know scientists, physicists have been telling us for a long time now that everything has a vibrational energy, and that includes us, and that is what our consciousness is. And I recently read something wonderful that sums it all up in a nutshell, if I can remember the quote, and it's, consciousness is the only reality. If I am hurt, I am self-hurt. If there is darkness in my world, I created the darkness or the gloom. If there is light and joy, I created the light and joy. There is no one but this I amness that is me that does it all. I love that quote. It says everything. And I also know how hard this is to hear, because I struggled with it myself in the beginning, those many years ago. As a young woman, I found myself in an abusive relationship. He didn't beat me physically, but I was beaten down emotionally every single day. It was hard to get away, but I did leave. And then I went back, and then I left, and then I went back. And I went back because changes were promised, and because in my heart, I wanted to believe them. And yes, things did change for 5 minutes, and then we were back to the same emotional abuse. Over and over, it was the same pattern. And of course, I blamed him. After all, he was the abusive one. It clearly meant that he was doing it to me, right? Because sadly, at the time, I knew absolutely nothing about consciousness creating reality. I didn't know. And I probably wouldn't have understood or even believed at the time that my consciousness was creating this awful relationship reality that I found myself in. So I kept trying to fix it out here. And naturally, it didn't stick, because my consciousness was constantly at work, projecting that vibrational energy in my outer world that I was creating in my inner world. So where was my knight in shining armor that I'd read about when I was a girl? I was a damsel in distress in the worst possible way. And today, I totally get that the only person riding to my rescue in life is me. And understanding that consciousness was creating my reality doesn't mean that I was imagining some awful someone in my life treating me with cruelty and unkindness. If only we could easily connect the dots between our consciousness and our experiences, it would make things so much clearer, wouldn't it? But what I was doing was running some beliefs I had about relationships, and the energy and vibration of those beliefs drew this sad and unhappy experience to me. And I'm not suggesting blame here. It's irrelevant, really. It's simply consciousness operating, doing its thing, doing what it does, outpicturing every persistent thought and feeling we have. But because I didn't want that same old pattern to keep rearing its ugly head, obviously I needed a big shift in consciousness to have a change in circumstances. And eventually I made it, but not until I discovered my consciousness was the creator in my world. And it took a while. It took years. But today I want to share with you, so it won't have to take years for you. Today I am experiencing my greatest romance, and I am the happiest woman in the world. And those old beliefs, those old ideas and thoughts in my consciousness were eventually replaced with new ones of an energy that drew better relationships in my life. And not only that, just shifting those few beliefs and ideas that were stuck in my consciousness about relationships actually drew many other lovely things into my world too. And part of the challenge is that many of our beliefs are submerged in the depths of our subconscious, and our subconscious is doing its thing, which is awesome when we know that it's doing this, because then we can use it to our advantage. And our subconscious is working day and night to turn everything in there into our reality, whether they're empowering or not. Because what you think becomes you. What you feel follows you. And what you believe builds around you. And whatever level of creation you believe you operate in, you will create experiences that prove you right. I mean, it's so awesome. And once you're aware of this, it's so flipping clear. And how far you move along the spectrum of creator, manifester is dependent on how much you're willing to believe. For instance, you might believe you can create always being able to park your car easily, but that there's nothing you can do about that issue that you have at work or your financial affairs that are in a bit of a mess. But if you believe you can create any part of your reality, you must believe you can create it all. It's like being pregnant. You either are or you're not. You can't partly be pregnant. And why do you suppose getting people not to park in that space that was there for you is any less impressive than getting your situation where you work or your financial challenges resolved? And why do you believe that it's easier for universal energy to have you leave the house at the perfect time for the traffic to flow easily for you? Why do you believe that's more difficult than orchestrating your dream life? These things are only more difficult for you because you've decided that they are, not because they need greater power than you've got access to. Marianne Williamson said, there's no order in difficulty in miracles. And the ability to create your life, your own little world, is an everyday miracle that shouldn't just be used to get good parking spaces, good as that is. So the question is, what level of creator or manifester are you? Are you operating at the level of the most painful and hurtful? The one that I was operating in those many years ago in that relationship? The one who sees everything in life as being caused by something or someone outside of you? Your parents, your body, fate, your government, where you're born, whatever. It's somebody else's fault. Or maybe the next level would be more you, where sometimes you find yourself creating events and conditions in your life, but generally you believe there's external forces at work over which you have no power. So life is mostly a struggle. Or how about this one? You know you can mostly create experiences, but you sometimes see outside influences as being more of a creator in your world than you. But even so, you're still aware enough to always ask yourself, what in me corresponds to this experience? And so you give yourself a chance to switch something in your consciousness and end up something more to your liking. Now, that's a pretty good place to operate from. But how about this one? How about a master creator? You understand you've been given the ability to create and manifest in your world. You know you're at choice as to every thought you think, every attitude you choose, and every response you make. Pretty cool, right? You've given up blame or judgment for experiences and people, and your life is an exciting adventure. It's still sometimes painful because of energy that you forgot you had, but mostly joyful and fulfilling. Which one can you say, hand on heart, my lovelies, is a true reflection of you? Because what we believe is manifested around us in every way. Like our consciousness is projected into our world, and we are surrounded by it like a bubble, and it overlaps with the bubbles of others, and all of our bubbles are connected to and work with that greater, more phenomenal consciousness of all that is. So why not choose to be a master of your consciousness? As you probably can see, the starting point for your continued progression on the spectrum of consciousness is the belief that you are the creator of your reality. That's the first spiritual truth, my lovelies. You, through your consciousness, are the creator of your reality. And I think that we should all move towards being a master of this first one. What say you? We could do this together. And that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast enough to share it with more like-minded people. And I'll be back in the week, with another little reminder that helps keep us on track towards that brilliant future that can be ours with that little inner work. And next Monday, I'll be here, same time, same place, with the second spiritual truth. I hope that you'll join me. And please like my Facebook page if you'd like inspirational, hopeful quotes to help you through every day. And till the next time, may your week be filled with blessings. Namaste, my lovelies. I'm just going to see if I can see any comments and anybody who's here, because Facebook has been a bit funny. But yes, hey, Sharon. Excuse me, Sharon. Sharon Burrell, how nice to see you. Khan, nice to see you. Denise Erasmus, welcome. Jim Monty, hello to you. Elizabeth, Megan Mason, how do I learn to love yourself? You choose to. It's like we're at choice, Megan, or is it Megan? I'm not sure. But we're at choice about everything. We're at choice about the thoughts we think. Nobody thinks our thoughts for us. We're at choice about what we choose to believe. Just begin affirming to yourself how lovely you are, how wonderful you are. Just try it. I mean, a couple of minutes every day. Do walking affirmations or sitting affirmations, whatever you like. But just start saying it. Marianne Victoria McNair, hey to you. Clayton LaRocque, hello. I'm kind of losing lots of these things, so I apologize. I'm so sorry if I'm missing you. Facebook is just being Facebook. Elizabeth is here. Elizabeth says, I understand it, Elle. I remember being told years ago that I was allowing what was happening to me. And back then, I sure didn't get it. I'm grateful to get it now. I know, Elizabeth. I wish I'd known it many, many years ago. But, you know, the thing about it is, it doesn't matter. It's a journey. We get to where we're going to get when we get there. And right now, my life is so wonderful. I wouldn't change all of those learning experiences that I had to have before I woke up to the fact that it's me, the I amness in me is creating these realities that I have. Let's see who else we have. Christanti, welcome Christanti. Marge Sisson, hello. Therese, Therese Lassa, oh my God, I shared your past life. Mine was an arranged marriage, but I stayed to the end. Oh, wow. I know how hard that is. You know, people say that it's easy to leave when you're in those kind of relationships. It isn't. It's really, really hard. It's a lot easier just to stay and put up with it. And put up with it is really the operative words. Sue, I can relate. Well, I hope that now that you are creating your own and better reality, Sue. Marianne Victoria, how old are you, says Teresa, when you find real love? Honestly, Teresa, I think when you make up your mind to. I think it's nothing to do with age. It's everything to do with awareness and what is going on in our consciousness and the beliefs that we have about ourselves and the beliefs that we have about relationships. Just start there. Forget about being out there. Start in here. Start loving yourself. Start imagining wonderful things and wonderful relationships and allow the consciousness of that to lead you to take actions. Because there will be different actions than the ones that you might take if you're coming from a place of wanting, of I have to have. Don't do that. It really doesn't work out in your best interests. Gunwoo, hello to you. Cheryl Smith, hello. R.M. Alexander, lovely to see you. Marianne, again here. Johnny Mack, Universal Energy, exactly. Is it possible to love again? Absolutely. It totally is, Teresa. After my young, youthful, really emotionally abusive relationship, my next relationship, which was a long time after, because it took me a long time to reach the space of having the consciousness to draw something wonderful to me, I met and married a most wonderful man, and I was truly, truly happy. And I lost him to cancer. He died. And I thought that I'd had it. I thought that that was my love, and that it was wonderful. I was blessed, and I didn't need to have another one. Until one day I woke up and I said, well, hold on. If I'm creating my reality through my consciousness, why couldn't I create something even more wonderful? Wonderful as that experience was. And here I am today, where I've been for the last 20 years, in this most wonderful, beautiful, loving relationship. So yes, yes, yes. Elizabeth says, I've been playing with the parking space available for me when I go to stores, and it's been working. Yes, it really does work. The same with green lights. And Elizabeth, use your wonderful creative powers for your dream life. Teresa, thank you for your kind words. Diptish Ray says, love one another unconditionally, for God is love. Absolutely. Demetrius is here. Hey, Demetrius. Woo Hoy, creating happiness. Good morning to you, Tasha. Linda McCauliffe. She reminds me of Esther Ranson. Esther Ranson. I think I know Esther Ranson from back when I was in the UK. And I think that's a real compliment. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Always be authentic. Demetrius says, Demetrius always has such wise words. Kathleen Burt Peters, hello to you. Johnny Mack, that's a powerful visual, the bubble. Yes, it certainly is. Hello to Jill Dwyer. Kathleen Burt Peters is watching the replay. Clara, that's a beautiful concept. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Tina Ngo, and Brigitte Reinders, welcome to you from Belgium. And Chico, hello, Chico. Kathleen, I love your scarves. It's kind of my jewelry, Kathleen. So thank you. Mark Brown, amen. Jackie S, welcome. And Ray, welcome to you. Crystal Halford said, I was blaming others too much. I had a long talk with my dad and I realized it was me keeping me from going forward in life, not him or anyone else. Oh, Crystal, that is absolutely wonderful. I am so happy for you. It touches my heart that when I hear of like-minded souls who are able to move beyond that prison of old stories that we all tell ourselves. Jane, welcome, Jane Borjak. I think we understand more as we grow older. Yes, but you know what, Jane? It's never too soon. I wish I'd had somebody in my life when I was a young woman, or a younger woman, because I still see myself as a young woman. But I wish I had somebody in my life who would have shared these principles with me so that I could have begun to practice them a lot sooner. I will tell you that I have grandchildren and they are being taught these principles. And so they don't need to be older to understand and to operate these spiritual life truths. They can do it now. In fact, they both do it now to some degree. Sandra Bunch, now at an older age, I've conquered cancer, the loss of my soulmate and a stroke, but I have no purpose. Oh, Sandra, I am so sorry. It's hard when you lose your soulmate. It's hard when you survive such a severe illness. But you know what, my lovely? You are still designed for greatness. Do not give up. Just assume that you have been given a new path to walk, a new beautiful, wonderful path to walk. And that will be your purpose from now on. What have you got to lose, darling? Natasha, hello. I think I've spoken to just about everybody. If not, I'm so sorry. I can't see any more comments. Facebook is really throttling my comments, so I can do no more. So I am going to love you and leave you, my lovelies. And as I say, please have a blessed week and assume good things for yourself. Begin today, right now. Use that consciousness of yours, that awesome creative power that you have to live a great day or live a great hour and then do another great hour and then another one. And just keep practicing, because it's the practice that allows you to see results, which gives you more confidence to go for bigger and greater dreams. So that's it from me for right now. As I say, love you and leave you, and I will see you next time.